Hi guys, my name is Chris and you're watching Wrestling Today, so let's start with WWE Smackdown concluded this week with Randy Orton in the ring with Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. Both authority figures had contracts in hand, trying to secure the Apex Predator for their brand. Orton was promised a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match by Adam Pearce. Then Aldis promised Orton the Bloodline. Paul Heyman then came out and he cut a little promo before Jimmy and Solo Sikoa ran out to beat Orton down. Suddenly, LA Knight ran down for the save. The babyfaces won the encounter, and Randy Orton found himself in the ring with Jimmy, who he laid out with a signature draping DDT and RKO. Then Orton looked at Paul Heyman before taking both contracts. Suddenly, Randy Orton threw the Raw contract behind his back and he signed the SmackDown paperwork over Jimmy's lifeless body. Then Orton tossed the contract on Jimmy before the show ended as the Brooklyn crowd chanted "Randy." Then he hit an RKO on Nick Aldis for good measure. What's your take on this booking for WWE SmackDown this week? The next story is about Logan Paul came out to rile up the Brooklyn crowd for SmackDown this week. While he was on the microphone, he announced that a tournament will take place to decide who will face him next for the United States title. Santos Escobar, Dragon Lee, Karrion Kross, Bobby Lashley, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, Kevin Owens, and an unnamed NXT superstar will take part in the tournament. The whole thing will start next week. We will have to see who wins the tournament. Any of those superstars could make a fine challenger for Logan Paul. Who do you think will win the tournament? The next story is about Randy Orton arrived on the latest edition of WWE SmackDown and confronted the Bloodline. Even though Solo Sikoa and Jimmy got the better of him towards the beginning, LA Knight came to the Viper's rescue. The Legend Killer had the chance to sign with either Raw or SmackDown, and he chose Nick Aldis' brand. Considering Aldis promised him warfare against the Bloodline, it is quite possible that Roman Reigns' next rival is going to be Randy Orton. If that is the direction for the Tribal Chief's next feud, WWE may not move forward with initial plans of the OC versus the Bloodline along with AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns. Keeping the above narrative in sight, the Phenomenal One, along with the OC, can move to Raw as the Apex Predator's replacement. Styles has not been around ever since Nick Aldis took over as General Manager of SmackDown. General Manager Adam Pearce can convince AJ Styles to return to Raw rather than choosing the blue brand. Since the war between the general managers is evident from their altercations, Adam Pearce can benefit from Styles working on the red brand. Do you guys want to see AJ on Raw? The final story is about WWE SmackDown will roll through Providence, Rhode Island next week for their December 8th episode. They will also have quite a special guest on the Blue Brands show. During WWE SmackDown this week, they announced that CM Punk will be on the Blue Brands show next week. Punk is able to go wherever WWE needs him since his return. CM Punk has not been announced for WWE Raw next week yet, so we will have to see what happens there. Only time will tell what CM Punk gets into when he returns to SmackDown, but fans will only have to wait a week to find out. That we were told that Punk is listed as a free agent, so if we need him to appear on a SmackDown, he can without trouble. At this time, we are told that Punk is assigned to Raw. What's your take on CM Punk's WWE return so far? Thanks guys for watching and please subscribe.